Hi, good afternoon. My name is Alex Nameth, and I'm with Encore Memory Care Day Centers in Plano, Texas. And I'm joined today by Laura Lester.
Hello.
And Laura's role here is she's the owner. And I think you've got multiple locations, Laura, is that right?
Yes, and Alex is going to be kicking us off with our newest location in Louisville coming up in probably October.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Where are your other locations?
I have 3 locations, well, 2 that are up and running right now. I have our original is in Plano, and we're actually in the conference room in our Plano location right now. And then I have one in Bedford, and our 3rd location will be in Louisville.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah. We've been doing this for 15 years this month.
Yeah.
So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So what, maybe you can explain to the listeners what an adult day center is.
For lack of a better term, it's daycare for people with dementia. Mm-hmm. So they come during the day. We're open from 7:30 in the morning to 6 in the evening, Monday through Friday. And we just really engage them all day long. And then they go home at night. So it's just Monday through Friday all day. It's a great resource for people that work during the day, that have mom or dad at home. It's a great break for people that have a dementia patient that they're married to. So it's been a really a wonderful place for 15 years. I think we've kind of cracked the code in beginning to mid-stage dementia.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you really look at it as an activity center.
Yes.
Our goal is to keep them active during the course of the day. We'll have 15 to 20 different activities going on because not everybody likes the same thing.
Right.
But we're really stimulating their minds, their bodies, and their souls when they're with us. And we give them a purpose. Mm-hmm. So when they come to Encore, one of the things we do right up front is get to know the individual better, understand what they did potentially as a living, what do they enjoy, what are the hobbies that they have, and we incorporate that knowledge then in the care that we provide to those individuals that are our center during the course of the day.
Yes, we do. We have what we call the best friends model, and we find out a little bit about them. We treat them as who they are. So most of the places, if you have a person with dementia, most of the places that they go, like to the doctor or really anywhere that they go, they're either treated like a patient or they're treated maybe like a child, unfortunately.
Sure.
So we really feel like this is one of the only places that they can come where they are treated like who they are. What we found over the last 15 years is that people, I haven't really ever cared or helped anyone that had dementia that wasn't really pretty brilliant. And a lot of them have a lot of accomplishments in their lifetime. So we give them the respect of treating them as who they are. If they're a doctor, we call them doctor. And we try to give them a purpose, because this disease, a lot of times it's it causes a lot of depression and anxiety, because they used to be this very important person and now they can't even balance their checkbook. So it's very hard for them. And even though they have this devastating diagnosis, they still need a reason to get up in the morning. They still need a purpose. So we try to give our guests a purpose when they come to.
Exactly right. That's why we spend all the time on the front end, again, getting to know who these individuals are, and clearly about dignity and respect that they absolutely deserve. And we'll have sometimes 30 to 40. I think we had, 50 people here the other day?
Yeah, we have big groups.
And these were people all with early stage dementia. So
early to mid.
That's right. But if you peeked in during the course of the day and saw them having lunch, you'd think you were looking in a country club, right, or a cafeteria at a high school. They're loving it. They're smiling.
It's a very social environment.
That's right.
On top of everything else, we have kind of a method to our madness. Everything that we do at Encore has some element of something that's happened in their lifetime. In other words, most of our guests are not making new memories, but they still have memories stored in their brain from prior to the disease. So what we try to do is bring those top of mind as often as we can.
Right.
And our hope is that if they're thinking about those things constantly, hopefully they won't go away as fast as if they would if they weren't thinking about
That's
it.
right.
So,
And Laura and I have walked in the shoes of many of the people that are watching this video today.
yes.
My stepmother had dementia. We didn't know it, but then all of a sudden she developed it. They lived up in Detroit. Of course, we're down here in Texas. And she passed away from it, from complications of dementia. And I remember at the funeral, after the funeral, talking to my dad about the fact that Lottie, his wife's no longer around, and he'd forgotten who Lottie was. So I recognized at that time that he also had dementia. So I began the journey, like many of you, without any education at all in the dementia paths and things that they go down. Brought him down to Dallas to live because he needed that kind of care. And we had a great time for most of the time that he was here. It was more difficult towards the end, but I think by you watching videos like this, and Laura will tell her story, hopefully it will make it a better experience and conclusion for you as well.
First, I can tell you that taking care of your loved ones is much easier for us than it was taking care of our own. Because we don't know, whenever they walk in our door, we know who they are today. We don't know what they've lost. We're not grieving like their loved ones and their family members are. Because it's a long grieving process, really, when you have someone with this diagnosis. And I know I had actually 2 family members with dementia. The first experience I had was my grandmother. We were just hit with a bomb. I mean, it was like, whoa. Everything that intuitively we thought would be the right way to handle my grandmother was wrong. And that's what we've learned is most of our instincts of how to deal with this disease are just really almost the opposite of what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so with my grandmother, she really got mean. I mean, she was extremely angry and mean to the point that we would have to go, if she had to go to the hospital, we would go and spend the night with her because we were fearful that she would be so mean to the staff that they might even hurt her in the hospital. I mean, we were that fearful because she would say the meanest things. And I really, since I've been dementia trained, went on with my life and got dementia trained, I really believe that if we had known what to do when she was in her beginning to mid stages, I don't think she would have been so mean.
Right.
I really
right.
don't think she would have gotten mean. I think that part of her spiraling anger was the way we handled things. I think it was us.
That's
a lot
right.
of times, just but our lack of knowledge for the disease. And that's one of the reasons that I have so much passion for helping other people go through this, because it doesn't have to be as hard as we make it. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not saying
That's
that
right.
it's not.
That's right.
It's hard for everyone, but it doesn't have to be as hard. As the second time that we dealt with it was my dear brother, who is really only a year older than me. And we were trained by the time that this happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
And so it went much easier with him. He was always jovial. He was always happy. Not always, but I can't say he was always happy, but he was much happier than my grandmother. And we were able to navigate it much better when we used our dementia techniques.
That's
so
right.
that's why we have a passion to teach you the things that we've learned along the way.
That's
and
right.
then since then, we have been in the dementia care business for 15 years. That was just totally something that happened, that we didn't plan to be in the business. It was just, when you go through something so dramatically difficult, you really, once it's over, you have a strong, most people, or a lot of people have a strong desire to just give back and to help other people that are trying to navigate this.
Right.
This is such a hard thing.
That's right.
So that's how we ended up where we are. And I've never had a more fulfilling job in my life. I'm very fulfilled. It's stressful, it's tiring, but I go home fulfilled every day, and I have for 15 years.
Yeah.
So I literally look forward to coming to work every day.
Yeah, it was just a coincidence that we opened our 2 centers up at the same time, 20 miles apart.
Yeah.
Didn't even know each other.
Right.
But really weren't competitors because we were that far apart, but got to know each other obviously over time. Ultimately, I sold my center and then came to work for Laura. So
yeah, and Alex was always a really helpful person. He was always good to me, even though we were quote unquote competitors.
Right.
If I needed help, Alex would offer help, and I needed help a lot. He would always offer help. So whenever he sold his center and thought, oh boy, I'm going to live the good life now, I think he got bored being retired. And so he contacted me, and it was really a joy that he did that. So we've been working together really ever since.
Yeah, 7 years now. So anyways, so we're going to do some more videos. So there's going to be a lot of videos to follow up on this with techniques, what is dementia, strategies in dealing with your loved one.
Yes.
So we'll have scenario-based videos.
Yes.
Many of the scenarios you'll have faced, and maybe we'll give you, some good answers to those difficult times that you're going to face. Thank you for watching the video today. At this point, I'd like you to either you can do all 3, comment, and subscribe, and maybe share, right, Laura?
Yes. If this has been helpful to you in any way, and you know anybody that it could help, please reach out to them and share this with them. If you have any questions that maybe we can answer, we've been doing this for 15 years, put the questions down below and we will address them in a future